Welcome to this learning dialogue on how to do active learning with visualizations. So in this learning dialogue, we will be seeing how to do different active learning strategies with visualizations in the classroom. I expect that you have done your reflection spot activity and you have seen the visualization on equivalent fractions fully. You need to see this visualization to be able to follow this learning dialogue. In case you have not watched it, please go back and see the visualization before you go through this learning dialogue. So let's get started. So what I'm going to do in this learning dialogue is I'm going to do the same reflection spot activity which you have just completed. Therefore, I'm going to take the topic of equivalent fractions, for which I have chosen the visualization from YouTube, which you must have seen by now. The learning objective that I have for my activity is, for a given fraction, my students should be able to draw and write an equivalent fraction. What I mean by that is, suppose I give a fraction 2/3, then they should be able to convert that into a diagrammatic representation, and they will also be able to draw the pictorial or the diagrammatic representation of the equivalent fraction of 2/3. So given that this is my learning objective, I want to do a short activity, a 5 to 10 minutes short activity in the class. So my active learning strategy is peer instruction. How do I choose this strategy? It depends upon my objective and the activity time duration. Now recollect that this is one possible way that we have already discussed in the previous learning dialogue. So let's do a recap. What does the teacher do here? The teacher will not first play the visualization. Teacher will give an active learning activity here, which the teacher has designed in such a way that it is based on the visualization content. The student will be first solving it individually and then discuss and solve it in groups. After that only, the teacher will go and play the visualization and provide this visual feedback through the visualization. At that point, the student is going to check and reflect on their own solution, comparing it with what is being shown and explained on screen. So the most important thing for we as a teacher that we need to do is, we have to design this activity question before we can get going with the activity. So let's see, what peer instruction question can I give? So I will be giving this question, draw and show which of the following is an equivalent fraction of 2/3. A 5/6, B 4/9 or C 4/6. Of course, the prerequisite to doing this activity is, I have already taught my students how to draw out a fraction of 2/3. So let's see how to conduct this peer instruction in our classrooms with our chosen visualization. First, I will give this question to my students, draw and show which of the following is an equivalent fraction of 2/3, and the three choices here will also be given to them. Now what I will do is, I will tell them that for 1 to 2 minutes, take your time, do this as an individual activity and choose the option that you think is correct. And tell me the option when only I ask you to do so. So after 2 minutes, what I'll tell them is, now once you have done this activity, you show me your choice. Now I won't tell them to raise their hands. What I'll tell them is, show it like this. This is if you have second option B. If you have the third option, show it like this, holding your hands close to your chest. This is to make sure that the other students don't get influenced by somebody else's answer. Or there is another alternative method. I can ask them to write their option on a piece of paper and hold it up. Now what will happen? As a teacher, you will get an idea of the distribution of options being chosen by your students. In the next phase, what I'll do is, I'm going to pair up 2 or 3 students who have different option answers and ask them to discuss among themselves. Again, I'll give them 2 minutes to discuss and come up with a single common answer for the group. After 2 minutes, I'll repeat the activity. I'll ask them to show their options. They can show it like this, or they can raise the paper to show the option they have chosen. At this point, you are more likely to see a convergence towards the correct option happening. But there will still be some wrong options being chosen as the correct answer by the students. So now we'll start the feedback stage. At this stage, I'll go back to the visualization, I'll start playing it and explain to them why C is the correct option through the visualization. So now what I'll do to give feedback is, I will play and start the visualization. So let's see the visualization now. Okay, so you have seen this visualization. I'm going to start this visualization where it is explaining to me what is 2/3, showing the diagrammatic representation, and then also showing what is an equivalent fraction, that is it's taking 4/6 and showing me the diagrammatic representation. So I have 3 parts to this block. When I am doing equivalent, I multiply that by 2, so it's 6 blocks, out of which I have shaded 4. So diagrammatically you can see that these are equivalent portions of the block. So you can now do a demo plus narration of the visualization, wherein you are giving feedback to the activity that your students have just tried to solve. Now let's get back to the presentation. So this was one demo of peer instruction that you just saw now.